Hello, and welcome to the Old Man Orange Podcast. I'm Spencer Scott Holmes.
And I'm Ryan Dunigan.
And special guest this week...
I'm Joseph Souza.
So yeah, Joe Souza. He should have been on here like 100 years ago, but you know how that goes.
He was we actually mentioned him real quick because we had the episode where we were doing like the Court of Owls episode as well as the audio commentary of the Drunk Batman live action movie.
Oh yeah.
Joe's the guy who was playing everybody that wasn't Spencer and myself.
Seriously,
so,
I should have been on that podcast.
You should have.
You should have been like top billing because you played like 10 people in that movie.
Yeah, or something like that. A lot.
Yeah.
But yeah, you said you had something.
I actually got kind of a little bit of a funny story here. Alright, there's this website called popuptea.com, and they usually will have
Pop-up tea.
Yeah. That should be their jingle. I don't know if it is, but anyway.
Was it like that thing like on VH1 where it's like, pop-up video?
Do-do-do-do-do-do. No.
Never seen it.
No, I don't even know what you're talking about. I just made up a jingle to something I never even saw.
You don't know what pop-up video is? It's this really weird thing when you watch music videos. There's all this like shit that pops up like in little text bubbles.
Oh,
like
stats or whatever.
You know, yeah.
Did you know like David Lee...
That shit?
No, not advertisement.
Did you know David Lee Roth punched the hooker on his way in here? That's why we're wearing a Band-Aid on his hand, like something like that.
Like, bloop! David Lee Roth's not wearing underwear right here.
Oh, yeah.
Bloop! Eddie Van Halen, he made his guitar. Bloop! That's what it is. And does that like...
You see an extra in the background.
300 times in like a 3-minute like music video.
You know, a lot of those like music stations, they kind of run out of shit to do after a while. It's like, okay, how many times can we show TRL but with different bells and whistles?
Well, I don't know if those ones are like we really need to get kids to read. Like, how can we get them to read? They're watching MTV and VH1 already. Just fucking throw some captions up on there.
I don't even think of VH1 as something kids watch. I mean, maybe now because we got so much of like reality shows, but then back when we were like in high school, it seemed kind of like this is kind of like this is for the older folks, man. You grew up in the '80s, we got this shit for you. You know?
Yeah, that's really what VH1 was like. We got you covered. 60s, 70s, 80s.
Here's where 80s,
90s.
Well, VH1 too. It also had like the shittiest fucking music videos that were at that time. They didn't have any good shit from like 60s, 70s, 80s or whatever.
That's good shit.
I never saw any good shit.
Music video wise?
Yeah. I always saw like the worst of the worst put on VH1.
Did you ever watch Metal Mania?
Yeah.
You didn't like any of those music videos like Dio and all that stuff?
Yeah, some of them, but
I always liked those.
I don't know. Generally, just the scope of that station didn't work for me.
Huh, I like that station. I didn't really like any of the other ones.
Maybe I just caught it, like, at the wrong time when...
Well, yeah, because the only thing is, like, that's the time where, like, you couldn't just pick your music videos. You had to sit there and let somebody else pick them for you, and hopefully, something good would come up.
Well, now it's a station where it's, like, 80s icons go to die.
Yeah.
Because, like, it doesn't fucking, Brett Michaels, doesn't he actually have like two reality shows?
He doesn't go to die. He goes to make way more money than he ever would have made in his entire life.
Well, doesn't he have some show about making an RV now?
I don't know.
Some like rock my RV or some shit.
Probably.
And the commercial was he walks with a sledgehammer into the side of an RV and it just transforms into like this like badass looking RV.
Well, it's funny because Bret Michaels really like Poison was almost becoming that band who was like very forgotten, and then all of a sudden he started doing reality TV and just made like a buttload of money, and then it's like Poison now is like worth a lot more money now.
Oh, good for him.
That's everybody. Poison's like, thanks, Bret. You know that last rent check wasn't gonna make it.
Well, you realize those guys. He has all those guys by the balls now.
He really does because they all like rely on him.
She's like, I'm really gonna need help getting rid of a body, but Bret, you fucking owe me, Come
on, Cece, load that body. I don't want to do it.
He's like pouring like fucking like acid into like a bathtub or something like that. Like,
I didn't even want a hooker tonight.
Like in Nikita Femme Fatale or whatever.
Yeah.
No, but Pop-Up Tea, the website, is actually is this website where they have a bunch of like T-shirts, just really cool, kind of like T-shirts aimed at cult things generally. And they don't really have like you go on there and browse through. It's like this is what we got at the moment. I think it's a smaller company. Buy, order it now. Well, they actually had this really cool Cowboy Bebop T-shirt.
Is that Spike like jet one you got?
No, it's like it's like the swordfish. It's like this red shirt. It has the swordfish on it. It says Space Cowboy, and it has like this kind of Chinese design that goes around it and says "Let's jam."
Were you wearing that earlier today?
Yeah, I was actually.
Oh,
so that one right there probably a bit.
Yeah. So
that one's all bunched up in the corner of the bed.
It's one of my favorite shirts actually. But anyway, I guess I got an email from them. I just clicked, oh, sure, I'll click on it. They got a bunch, because when I got it, the Cowboy Bebop one was just one shirt of a bunch of other shirts. Now they got a bunch of Cowboy Bebop shirts. I just looked at all of them. They're just a bunch of really cool designs. One was like Spike, drawn like Clint Eastwood, holding a gun in the same pose as like one of the Fistful of Dollars commercials, Fistful of Woolongs.
That's badass.
And there's another one like the good, Spike, the bad, Faye, the vicious.
That's cool.
That's cool. Just there's like eight of them or so.
First I thought they're gonna make Jed the Ugly.
Yeah, that'd be so fucked up. That's clever though, the vicious. So anyway, so I'm looking at these, I'm like,
the good, the bad, the Ed.
Yeah, the Ed. Like we kind of ran out. We couldn't seem mean making Jet the Ugly. So
we just made the Ed.
So I was looking at these. I'm like, oh, $12.99. I just, I'm like,
well, that's not that bad. $12.99.
I know, but then I look like, I'm not gonna do it. So I really, I'm trying to save my money right now. I'm not gonna do it. So I'm looking at my phone. I turn off my phone, and I go to sleep. And right now we still have all these fires going. I had my window open, and at a certain time of night, the smoke starts to get way worse. And the smoke started coming into my room. So not like just heaving in, but like just you could
like
smell
backdraft.
it. Yeah.
Like you accidentally opened your window, it's like
get the guy from Sucker Punch in here. He's the one that could stop it. But no, well, what was that actor's name? I forgot his name. He's in Silence of the Lambs too.
I can't remember the guy's name. I know you're talking about though.
Anyway,
that guy's badass.
So I eventually just kind of wake up and I just close my window and I'm barely awake but partially awake and I just start going on my phone because I'm having trouble going to sleep and I'm just flipping through it. After a while, I don't remember what I'm looking at, but I'm just flipping through my phone, just flipping through it. And I remember just kind of like being really drowsy, turning off my phone and just dropping it to the side and rolling over, going to sleep. Next morning, I wake up.
There's this FedEx package. I ordered $3,000 worth of Cowboy Bebop t-shirts.
I bought all the fucking shirts. No,
I didn't want anyone else to own one.
They're all mine. This might as well just be the Cowboy Bebop cast. We've been talking about for the last 3 weeks. And then I look over. I'm like, I bought the Fistful of Woolongs t-shirt in my halfway delusional state.
That's badass.
So now I'm kind of afraid. What's worse, being a sleepwalker or being like a sleep buyer? Just like I just wake up like, you own like $1 million in credit card debt. Why? You bought the original Batmobile. Oh fuck.
I was sleeping.
I just start buying everything I want, but just don't have the money for it.
Yeah, I like how they we went from like the Clint Eastwood cast to like the Cowboy Bebop cast.
Comes back around. Clint Eastwood.
Well, speaking of buying shit, the last like 2 weeks have been like the week of like buy, or I guess the 2 weeks of buying crap.
I want to click. Yeah.
The week of
just
buy.
Just keeping your options open, just seeing where it takes you.
Yeah, well, I got
hopefully Laura doesn't mind.
I got Pain and Gain, which Michael Bay found a way to fuck me over. He really did.
He found a way to fuck you, Michael Bay? After you trusted him, you let him into your heart.
I let him into my heart. I trust him. He made such a good movie. You know what he gives me with Pain and Gain? No special features whatsoever.
On a Blu-ray?
On a Blu-ray. And it's not like it was like a $5 bin Blu-ray. It's a fucking brand new movie. No, not even audio commentary.
You get nothing at all.
Nothing. Just the movie. Just the movie.
That sucks.
Well, at least it was a good movie.
See, at least it's a really good movie. But it's like, seriously? Like, no special features? Like, what the fuck is this? I haven't bought a single brand new Blu-ray movie that had, like, no special features on it.
On the off chance Michael Bay hears us, very, very faint, like 0.1% chance, he's like, I can't do anything right for these fuckers. That's not even my fault. That's the marketing team.
Well, maybe one of those. Like, did the movie not do good enough to, like, don't even make special features. Not fucking worth it. Or is it going to be a double dipper, like, in 6 months down the road?
Or it could be something maybe like 10 years from now. The long-awaited Blade Runner version of Pain and Gain.
I mean, kind of like the long-awaited fucking Machete version that has, like, special features on it.
Is that even out yet?
No, it never came out. Maybe it will come out, like, right when Machete Kills comes out.
That's like 2 weeks or so?
No, actually it's like a month.
Oh, okay.
I thought it was like 2 weeks. I thought it was, for some reason, I could have swore it was August this whole time. Mm-hmm. I could have swore that trailer said it was August, and it says, and I went to look, it's October 11th.
Did you see Pain and Gain, Joe?
Nope.
Oh, it's so good, though.
Awesome film.
I've watched it, like, at least I've, like, watched it a bunch of times since I got it.
Michael Bay, it's like one of those things, I understand what he does, and I kind of like some of his movies, what he does. Some movies are just kind of like, it's sort of his ego. Like in Transformers 2, there's a part when Shia LaBeouf's going like fucking crazy, and he's just writing shit on the walls. And one of the things he writes, one of the things you see on the wall, Bad Boys 2 poster. I'm like, fucking Michael Bay. Putting your own shit all over in your movies.
Well, yeah, that just kind of happens.
Self-advertising, I do it all the time.
And then the other thing I got same day was the new Avenged Sevenfold album.
I got that too.
What do you think of that one so far?
I'll be honest about. I like it. It kind of. I gotta listen. Sometimes album you listen to it like 3 or 4 more times. I listened to it twice.
Well, a lot of times you gotta listen to them like 10 times before you really kind of get it.
It didn't really sink into me. I'll be honest. I'm not as big of a metal guy as I used to be. Because I listen to more like Deer Tick and Bruce Springsteen now more than anything, but in like Rolling Stones. Mm-hmm. But I still love. I still really like Avenged Sevenfold, and I looking over Laura's not shooting me dirty looks. I thought it was a good album, but I liked it. It kind of ran together for me. Like 2 songs really stood out to me, and that was the song that opens up with the choir, the blues, 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 you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And
Is
then
that the Crimson Blood one?
That song.
That song was really cool. I think that's the coolest one there so far.
That song stood out to me, and so did like the last song.
Oh yeah, that's a good one too.
Those are the only ones that really just jumped out at me. I gotta listen to it again because sometimes that's what it. I mean, when I first bought like Demon Days by the Gorillaz, that's one of my favorite albums. When I first heard that, I was like, oh, it's good. It's not as good as their first album.
And then the more you listen to that, because like, that's how I feel too. That album like really stands out. The Demon Days one.
I love Demon Days. Yeah.
And that was I had to like the 4th Avenged Sevenfold album. I remember that's kind of how that one was too. I was like, well, it's good, And then like as you just keep listening to it more and more, you're like, oh, you start like the tracks become one. They're not just like that run together like stream.
Plus that one had a lot of like a lot of nods and kind of like in memory of the Rev kind of thing.
Oh, you talking about the 5th one?
That's what I meant.
I was talking about the white one.
The critically acclaimed one or whatever.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
No, yeah, the Nightmare was another perfect example too. That one kind of took some time, and then as you worked your way through the songs, oh, this is great. Mm-hmm. You gotta get the bonus track though. It's actually a pretty good one, the St. James one.
Okay, yeah.
But no, so far I actually really like that one. I know it's just kind of like some songs kind of have like a Metallica feel, some kind of have like a Guns N' Roses feel. It seems to have more kind of like almost like a classic metal / hard rock vibe to this one too. I can kind of
I mean
like see. Or here,
I didn't
guess
see
you
so
don't really
much.
See it, but
I guess since City of Evil in the white one, it had much more of kind of like I'm by no means a major metalhead, but it had more of kind of like that 80s kind of metal feel, more of, I guess, kind of like an Iron Maiden, kind of like a big epic kind of feel to it. This one feels more like what you say, kind of more like hard rock, kind of a Guns N' Roses.
Yeah, because and I know there's another song that kind of reminds sort of like has kind of like a Pantera like feel to it, and it just kind of has these like different kind of vibes on each one.
Plus, I
guess you could just say classic metal / hard rock.
They do like walk at every concert.
Oh yeah, this conversation.
I think
we said like we gotta have before you come on, you gotta see the movie so you can be in the conversation. Now we're like,
let's talk about Avenged Sevenfold.
We didn't think about
since high school. All right,
you're missing out.
All right, what was the last Avenged Sevenfold album you heard? Just out of curiosity.
See, the reason why they played Walk is because I remember I just want to say quickly, when they first started like touring like at metal concerts and stuff like that, I think they played Walk because everybody's like, who the fuck are these guys? And there's like Walk, they're like, oh, I know that song. There's a song.
I think the last album I actually heard from those guys was their second one.
Wake and Fallen.
Yeah, like right after he got his voice all messed up from the scream or whatever, he got the voice box taken out or whatever.
Wake and Fallen.
I think that was a rumor. I don't know. Was that actually true?
I'm not sure. That's what I kept
hearing. Because that was like one of those things. I think somebody just made that crap up.
Maybe.
I think he just decided not to scream anymore at one point, and that way.
Like it could have been.
And some guy out there's like, that can't be true. There's no. How could he just stop screaming one day? There's something behind this. I have to go into the CIA database.
It's definitely surgery.
I actually like. I mean, I like Awaken the Fallen. The first album's kind of whatever to me because it's not really my kind of metal, but I like it. But the Awaken the Fallen I think is better. And favorite one is probably City of Evil. I know for a lot of people that's kind of like the Metallica Black album of Avenged Sevenfold. That's where a lot of people.
Well, I know City of Evil. It's either one of those ones like that's mostly like the main Avenged Sevenfold fans. That's mostly their favorite one. I notice.
Or they hate it.
Well, those aren't main Avenged Sevenfold fans though. Those are the people that because those people out there is like, well, the first 2 albums are good, but I don't really care for anything else.
I got a few friends of those, but yeah.
You get the people that's like, if it's not screaming, it's not good.
Cavemen, we are friends.
I need primal beating and screaming.
I was just thinking, just because you're on the topic of cavemen, I was thinking this. Want to be the most badass movie ever? I wish they made the Flintstone movies in the 80s, but it was an action film, and it starred Sylvester Stallone as Fred, and Bruce Willis as Barney.
That'd be badass.
Wouldn't that be the greatest movie ever?
Awesome.
Dude, I was going down the loop.
They'd be like probably fighting the dinosaurs.
They'd be like
using.
They'd be going against like, she's like, hey, my boss screwed me over the other day, Bond. Like, that's a real shame, Fred. have to do something about him, you know? Can you just imagine that? They're like putting like his asshole boss like down some kind of like dinosaur like conveyor belt machine with chomping down like. Had to come this way, Mr. Sprocket. Like, but Fred, like, Bonnie saved me. It's too late for you, Mr. Sprocket. Can't help you. You know, I want to see that. Can you imagine that? Just like Bruce Willis with a bad wig.
And then at some point they just get really high, and then they see that green guy. What was that thing's name?
The Great Kazoo.
Yeah, the Great Kazoo.
Great
They just
Kazoo
start
play-
talking to it. Speaking of Stallone, though, like after we saw like the trailer for like the escape plan with Arnold Schwarzenegger and stuff, I started kind of just looking. I was like, what else is Stallone doing? And then there's all these movies coming up. There's like one called like Grudge Match, which is a boxing movie between Stallone and De Niro. It is literally
fuck.
Rocky versus Raging Bull.
Nice.
Is that literally what the movie is?
Yeah, well, it's not called Rocky.
Oh, but if it was the Rock versus the Bull, I'd totally be down.
No, but that's pretty much what
that's just
it
the
is.
Description.
Rocky versus the You can put that on the fucking poster.
Right?
And then I was also like Expendables 3 because they're almost done with that one too.
Yeah.
You got Harrison Ford in that
Yeah,
one.
and then you got Mel Gibson, you got
Bruce-
Wesley Snipes and Antonio Banderas.
Bruce Willis backed out because he wanted like $3 million for 4 days, like $1 million a day. And Stallone said on Twitter, "Fuck you, you're greedy and lazy." That's why this Flintstones movie would have to happen in the '80s, not now.
Not now.
So, but they got Ford, which we already had Bruce Willis for 2 films. I'd be happy to see.
Well, that's fine
Andy.
because cool thing is Jet Li's coming back and
Jet Li's coming back. That's good.
I don't know if he has more. You might only have like a one.
He just
scene.
walks in, like he just walks in,
Again?
pours himself a cup of coffee, like, "Hey, there, guys, bye." Doesn't mean like a backflip out the window.
And then there was some movie called like Creed, and it said under the title that like it was a
wide
maybe.
open.
Yeah, not that kind of Creed.
Under the show. Sorry,
But it
go
would
ahead.
probably be kind of like that too because it's supposed maybe it sounds like it's a Rocky 7.
Oh, what that is? That's a spin-off where Rocky is training Apollo Creed's grandson,
Oh, so it's kind of like Rocky 5, but instead of training like
and there's
Tommy Gunn, and his son's like, "Dad, you're not paying attention to me."
"'Cause you're a fucking pussy."
And it's like so now he's training Apollo Creed's son.
Yeah, because his own son's a disappointment, I guess.
His son's a disappointment. Clearly, he's not training that kid. You know, that might be
You're
the son that
worthless. You're
died.
gonna try.
Your mother wanted you, not me, and your mother's dead now.
That might have been the kid that actually died though,
Oh, what?
because that's his actual son in the movie. I don't
Oh,
know if
his
he has-
actual son in the movie?
I don't know if he has multiple sons. Does he have multiple sons? Probably not.
I think he just had the one son, didn't he?
Yeah, so that's probably the reason why he's not training his son.
I never saw Rocky 5, and I haven't seen It's been so long since I've seen Rocky 3 and 4.
Rocky 5 is actually pretty good. Some people say it's not that good. I think it's cool just for the fact that it's like the main point of the movie is not Rocky fighting; he's training somebody else, and then it ends in this cool like street brawl instead.
I never saw
Nice.
5 or 6 because
Yeah, I haven't
6
seen
is actually pretty
those
good
two
too.
either.
You know, it's probably my
What
least
was that,
favorite
Joe?
I haven't seen 5 or 6 either.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, they're kind of like the ones that people don't normally see, but they're worth watching.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was just kind of going down. I was like, oh, there's a bunch of badass like Stallone movies coming out.
Mm-hmm.
But speaking back of buying things, here's the other thing that it costs more than these other 2 items. Is I got Killer is Dead, the new Suda 51 game.
Oh, that's already out. Okay.
Yeah, well, that just kind of came out. Like, I was opening up a Game Informer, and there was like an ad for it, but it didn't say like the date or anything. And Game Informer won't give the game fucking review. They'll probably put in the back corner like, give it like a 1-sentence thing. It's like, you know, some Japanese shit.
That's kind of what they are now.
Game Informer, you know.
Do you know what
This-
Suda 51 is, Joe?
Mm-mm.
Have
Never
you
heard
ever
of it.
played No More Heroes?
Nope.
Have you ever played Shadows of the Damned?
Nope.
Have you ever played Killer 7?
Nope.
We should have prepared better for this
Right?
podcast.
Have you ever played any game on this system?
Oh, it's all good. It's all good. No, we
No, is that all for Wii?
No,
You?
No More Heroes is for the Wii, but Shadows of the Damned and Killer 7's for GameCube and PS2.
No. That's probably why I never heard of it.
Really?
Yeah, I haven't played consoles in
Yeah,
2
I mean,
years.
well, yeah, but these games have been coming out. That goes back like 8 years by now, probably. Those ones. I mean, he has games farther back than that,
Crazy.
but these are kind of like the main ones. But whatever, they're kind of like these. I'd almost say that his games are almost like he's like the Quentin Tarantino of video games. if that
Robert
makes any
Rodriguez,
sense.
kind of.
Well, I would say that the Shadows of the Dam kind of has that feel, but like in general, his games kind of feel more Quentin Tarantino-y.
Okay, I guess the only one I really play. Well,
Or
I
watched.
never played. I've always been at your house watching you play them, so never mind. The one I saw was Shadows of the Damned, and I seen you play No More Heroes. So explain
Well,
the Tarantino-ness.
Well, they're kind of like, I guess because the games are very like, they're heavily storyified, sort of like almost in a Metal Gear Solid way too, I guess you could
Okay.
say.
Mm-hmm.
They that kind of action? Like,
No, not Metal Gear
third-person
Solid
or no?
action. What they are is more like in most games you pretty much play as an assassin. That's mostly what you always are. You're some
Yeah.
form of assassin, and and most of the game stylized in the sense you kill a bunch of guys, and then you have these like extreme like epic boss battles, like kind of Metal Gear Solid style, where like there's a lot of talking, and then there's this like boss battle, and you got to figure out like the way to beat him and everything.
Live long and die fat.
Yeah.
Like all those other rage-inducing games.
Yeah.
Rage?
Silent Hill. All
Oh,
those survivor ones where the bosses like just way
survival
too hard.
horror.
I
when
wouldn't
you
say like
first
those
play
ones.
it.
Because those ones, there's mostly always like there's like a secret to like killing all
Yeah,
those things,
yeah.
or just
Those-
or it's like in Resident Evil, just whoever's got the biggest gun gets to fuck the biggest thing up.
Well, that's what the newest ones.
No, even the old ones have like it's like
Well, yeah,
get the Magnum out, just blast the fuck out of everything.
Old survival horror games, they seem kind of like, oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck. That's what it seems the whole time.
Shit.
New ones are more like get the fuck out of my way.
I got a fucking bazooka, and I'm not afraid to use it, motherfucker.
Yeah. It's like, you're like, cheap fucking zombie not giving me ammo? What the fuck? That dog gave me ammo, why don't you give me ammo? In Resident Evil 6, I don't know what it is though, but the dogs always give you ammo. For some reason, like, zombie signs kind of like half-assed. Like, what the fuck? How does this dog have ammo on him?
Kind of like how
Just
punching,
eats it.
kind of like how
eats the clips, runs off.
kind of like how Metal Gear Solid, like punching a crow will give you rations or cigarettes.
I love in Resident Evil 4, like, when you take the flash grenades and, like, the crows are all sitting in a circle, and you, like, chuck it up and it goes, BAM!
You're fucking rich, yeah.
What do you, like, those crows,
Gold
like, they got
everywhere.
Gold and fucking
Yeah.
grenades and all this shit. But so far, okay, that killer is dead. It's pretty cool. Online, the people are saying that they're like, this is his best game to date. I don't know about that. I really think the best game ever he made was No More Heroes 2, and probably like Shadows of the Dam, because that one was kind of something different. It was made with Shinji Mikami, the guy who did Resident Evil.
Yeah, nice.
So like
What?
that one is really cool because it played kind of like like it was like literally like a Robert Rodriguez if he like kind of did like a remake or just made a Evil Dead style movie.
Mm-hmm. What about, did you, what's this game about generally? Or what's the setup for Killer is
Pretty much
Dead?
what this one is like some people live on the moon and stuff, and then like everybody's kind of like partial cyborgs.
Does Bald Matt Damon come into play?
Bald Matt Damon.
Please tell me Bald Matt Damon comes in like someone
Elysium
stabs
one?
Jodie Foster in the neck.
Well, yeah. Jodie Foster's not in it either, but it'd be cool if there was a cross tie.
Okay.
But no, pretty much you're just like this assassin guy who's kind of like dressed almost like Reservoir Dogs-y, with
Nice.
like the skinny black tie and everything like that. And you're pretty much an assassin. You just kind of do like hit contracts. It's yeah. To me, I guess it kind of was one's like No More Heroes was kind of like that too, except for you were kind of like a guy who lived in an apartment and like jerked off to porn every night and.
You jerked off to get your sword bigger or something,
Yeah,
didn't you?
that's the best part about No More Heroes is like you had to like just beat that Wii remote. And it's funny too because when you start getting really into the game, you're like standing up, you're just like beating off in front of the TV, and then on the TV the guy's doing it too with you.
Someone walks in, just about to say something, just closes his eyes, just walks
Well,
the other way.
the whole point of No More Heroes is this guy who like lives in an apartment and beats off to porn and like always rents videos and returns the wrong ones. There's this chick that he wants to bang, and she says like she's like you can fuck me if you become the #1 assassin. So yeah, that's why you have to kill people.
Admiral goal, more than any.
But this one, and it's kind of weird. In Killer is Dead, there's these missions you have to do where you have to like. I'm not too sure what the fuck's really going on. You're like in a bar at this part, and you have to like subdue these chicks, sort of. And I don't know what. Okay, it's really weird the way they do it too.
It's like a date rape mission. Like you have to sleep
It is
by.
because it's like
stick a roofie
You have to
in their
look at
drug.
it like when they look away. You're supposed to like zoom in on like their tits or like their pants.
Okay.
And then when they turn their head back, you look away again. And it's like I don't know what's going on. It's like you do it and like they moan each time, and then points go up. And there's a picture of like your
Moan?
head filling with blood, which I'm pretty sure that's your other head filling with blood.
Wait, they moan like, or like,
No, they don't go. They're not like dudes like ugh.
No, like they're kind of like rolling their eyes like that, kind of like, oh my god.
No,
this
like
perv.
Like sexual.
I don't know. It
mode.
looks like you're like
They're getting turned on by you getting turned
you're
on.
almost
by
like eye raping them, I guess. And then you got to give them like the right presents once you finally get your like head full of blood, and then they'll give you like your next weapon. It's fucking weird.
So
I'm
everything that
honestly
makes sense in the
speechless. I don't
world.
know what to say.
I don't know. It might be like one of those like Mass Effect things.
Is that like the
sort of.
only? Is that the only aspect of the game? Is that you just go around like I fucking chicks and they give you
No,
weapons?
that's like the
or-
bonus thing where you get your
Oh, okay.
weapons.
All right.
No, the regular part of the game is like you pretty much go, you kill a bunch of dudes, then you get to a boss battle.
Like
pretty
slashing or third-person shooters or.
much. No, it's like all like katana and slashing and stuff.
Oh, that's awesome.
The only one's really well, you actually do kind of have, I guess, your like arm kind of shoots shit out.
Mm-hmm.
But the only one's really like a shooter is the Shadows of the Damned.
Okay.
And in Lollipop Chainsaw, you actually can shoot some stuff too.
Okay.
But they're almost like games. They're hard to explain. Like, and I feel like if you explain to some people, it'd be like, "What the fuck are you playing?" But like when you play them, they're very intriguing. The story's really cool. The characters are very well made. I think the best place to start off on is like No More Heroes.
I remember you were playing. I want to say when you lived in Modesto in your apartment, you had No More Heroes. Then I want to see, isn't that when you got it? So I just see people walking by your apartment with you fucking jerking your controller off the window, like, oh, that's the Holmes
For some
boy.
reason, I don't know if I had. I might have before that, but somewhere like that. But yeah.
We don't invite him over for like cocktails for a reason.
Yeah, there's that guy who stands up and starts
That's
beating
all
up
he
in front-
does all day. Just stands in front of it.
Just beating off.
Then occasionally we hear, "Fuck!" You know.
Well, those games do out. Every single one of those games though has points in it where you're like, it's just really fucking frustrating.
Well, I remember one
Like
of
American games don't have that like sometimes super frustrating thing in them.
Mm-hmm.
It's Japanese games that'll have these points in there like, what the fuck? Why did you make it that difficult right there?
the Japanese can be kind of like, "We're taking it back, bitches." Because most American games, like you said,
Most
are
American
way easier.
games like they'll hold your hand like it's okay, Billy. We'll give it
Yeah,
another
yeah.
go. Or some of these Japanese games like, no, you fucked up.
Like those Japanese hardcore games where once you die, you're done. You
Yeah.
just restart the entire game. I mean,
What
like
examples?
Nintendo status, only it's like,
about
on newer
old school
games.
Oh,
It's like actual new games.
well, because
but-
some games pride themselves on nowadays like, we don't fucking hold your hand,
Right.
pussy.
Dude,
You know,
it's-
like what? You want to just restart? You know, right where you died? You want somebody to come by and pat you on the dick and say it's gonna be okay?
too fucking bad.
Fuck no! You're starting from the beginning. That's how your grandpappy used to have to play them.
If you get angry, you don't walk out like a little bitch. You be a man, you break your controller, you go buy a new one because we need the money, and then you fucking play that game again because you need a controller. You need
Contra
passion.
only gave you 3 lives for a reason.
It's just natural selection, fucking faggots.
Back in the day during the Nintendo times, you were ridiculed at school for losing. Now you can just kind of lie and say, oh yeah, I beat it on the hardcore.
Hardcore in air quotes.
You know what was actually a really hard game on like the hardest on Legendary was Halo 2 when you played it co-op because if your buddy died,
Yeah.
then you both had to restart.
Yeah,
I
that
never
was
played Halo
annoying
2
as
on
fuck.
co-op, I don't think. Well, like,
No, it was only on Legendary though. Like
Oh,
all the
Legendary?
regular
Yeah.
modes, that didn't happen. But it kind of had like that Battletoads thing where it's like your friend dies. Well, guess what? You're starting back there too.
I like
Should have got a better friend.
I love how like the announcer to the game is some kind of like frat boy douche at Applebee's on a Friday night. That's your girlfriend? Guess what? Mine now. Should have been better at Battletoads, bitch.
Yeah, I'm the Battletoads douche.
It's just literally like a Battletoad hanging out at Applebee's.
But some of those games made it like that though, because
guys
you know,
look
your
kinda like
friends were
frat
like, "Oh, can we play Battletoads?" You're like, "Yeah, maybe you should just borrow this game and come back like in a month once you're kind of prepared."
Don't
Seriously.
Battletoads, don't they look kind of like, you know, kind of like the frat boy versions of Ninja Turtles?
They kind of are because they're all like
Yeah,
big
they're
and
like
muscles,
They're like just the Toad version.
and they got sunglasses on and a belt. And no
To be
pants.
fair, that was a really fucking hard game.
It is. It's. I beat that game by myself. It's easier just to play it single
Yeah.
player.
It's way easier. to
That's
play
actually how a
single
lot of
player.
those older games are. They want you.
Yeah.
It's like you think it's easier co-op. You're like, no, it's not. You know,
Yeah,
unless
so
it's
much-
like Contra. Contra, you need a good person.
That's
Yeah.
why you don't ask me to play Battletoads or Contra. I'm like, Joe and I, we were playing tennis with our friend Brian before he came over, and I'm the reason why I don't know, I kept on knocking the fucking ball over the thing. I'm like, this is the reason I don't ask to come play. You know?
Well, I remember one of the last times I went to go play tennis, like, I just remember, I think it was me and Cisco played with, like, Josh Bullock and John Garcia or something like that. And I think in, like, under 5 minutes, we knocked all the balls into the river. Like, me and Cisco. And it's just like, it's just kind of like, see ya, well, that was fun.
For me, it was to the level I kept on doing it. At first, like, no, man, it happens. You don't play tennis. And it reached that point where Brian's like, what is wrong with you? I'm like, I'm an asshole. I'm a horrible person. That's what's wrong with me.
Well, because tennis, you realize you're like, do not swing as... It's kind of like badminton, too, where it's like, don't swing as hard as possible. That doesn't always pan out so
Yeah.
well.
So half the time you don't even have to swing that much.
No, you almost have to be, like, on the defensive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I like to swing hard. I don't know what it is. There's like this animal instinct that kicks in. It's like, it's coming towards me!
Like the Harding sisters, like, ah! Ah! Yeah, they're the ones that kind of started that. They made the angry, like, tennis.
Who?
The Harding sisters? The two twin sisters that were really famous in tennis
Oh,
in the 90s.
yeah.
I thought that was the.
Weren't they the Hardening sisters?
I don't think so. I think you're thinking of the
Yes.
Hardy Boys.
The Hardy Boys. I'm sure they were good tennis players too.
That was like the Williams sisters.
The Williams
or something.
sisters.
Yeah,
That's
there
what they were. Yeah. I guess I was just thinking the Hardy Boys. I'm not gonna go there.
There you go. Hardy Boys Tennis.
Yeah.
Best new video game made.
Well, when you think about tennis video games, it really is
They're actually
kind
really fun games.
They're
They are
amazing, dude.
I
fun.
love fucking like Mario Tennis.
We were
Yeah.
talking about Mario Tennis when we were playing, and like it's one of those things when it gets right down to it, it really is. You're playing kind of like, all right, this is kind of like the souped up version of Pong. When it gets right down to it,
Yeah, it really is.
It-
You know, I could be playing Pong right now, where I got like much better skill.
But I got
Pong,
Mario.
You can't play as like Mario on Pong, so.
yeah,
That's true.
or Mario's the referee, one or the other.
Yeah.
Oh, you're playing like the Nintendo one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, I had this one like, on Sega Genesis called like Wimbledon.
Mm-hmm.
I remember like the thing that like blew my mind on. It's like you could hit the dude in the balls. Like,
Like,
yeah, if say
Yeah.
if somebody didn't swing and you hit it towards them and they didn't swing in time, it was like hitting the balls and the guy grabbed his nuts. But it's like in 16-bit graphics.
and when
It's
you're a
the same with the
child,
women,
that's the
too. It
most
didn't
amazing
matter.
thing.
I know, and then it blows your mind too. Like when you hit a chick, you're like, she grabbed her balls too.
She grabbed her she balls.
It was like the best.
Even though I think it was a
That
computer
one?
slice, like, oh, you hit her in the tits. That must be what happened.
Oh no, I like that one just because I was really bad at video games when I
Did you have
was
that
really
one?
young. Yeah.
Did
But then you
it
could
come
turn-
with your Sega Genesis?
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Then
did
you
you
could
also get
turn on-
greatest heavyweights too?
Yeah.
Yeah, I had the
Yeah,
same
yeah, yeah.
one.
You
But
know,
no, that game though, you can turn on like the directional thing, so when they hit it, it tells you exactly where the ball goes.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh.
You never play that? But
I don't know,
yeah,
it's been a
because
while
I was
since-
horrible at video games when I started playing, so and that was my first system was the Sega Genesis.
Did you like
So-
that world's like greatest heavyweights one?
I love that game.
That game was so cool because I remember one of the coolest things about that is you could create your own character in a boxing game, which is like blows your mind on Sega Genesis, and it
Yeah.
saves
when
too.
you're back in
Like,
that age,
oh.
yeah.
And you could make your guy like green or blue.
So you could generally make the Hulk.
Yeah, I'd
Yeah,
make my character
yeah.
look like Arnold Schwarzenegger, but if he was like blue or green,
Mhm.
like how badass
Yeah.
is that?
I remember
Except your characters always suck compared to like the black and white characters.
something.
Well, what, you mean like the actual?
Yeah, like the
boxing?
actual boxers.
Something that it was when I was a kid and it came to sports titles. The one thing that would kind of win me over because I grew up a fat kid, so I was kind of like sports games. I don't want to play sports games. I'll play Mario. You know, I'm kind of like that. So
So
the
when you
second
see those hamsters
Mario,
on that fucking Kia commercial,
we'll get to that. But when you see like that Mario, so you saw Mario as the referee. It was like. Well, that's incentive for me to play. I don't know why I talk like that. I wouldn't really have a lisp. But then
You should be like one of those kids just like sitting in the chair, just like with the biggest Slurpee next to him, and all the other friends are like, well, we only got the little like 8-ounce ones. He's like, well, if you're at my house, you get the 8-ounce ones. You'll be grateful.
I'm not that kid. I'm just kind of like, what up, guys? I can't keep up. I'm just gonna lay here and sleep for like 5 hours. You know, that was
I
me.
need to recover.
Push me in front of a TV. Yeah, that was me. But I'm surprised Sega didn't take advantage. Like, you should just fucking make Sonic the referee. And Sonic would look bored though. He'd just be kind of like hanging over like the fucking like the
Just like
boxing
looking at
ring.
you like,
Yeah.
come on.
I'm fucking. I got shit to
Sonic
do.
would just get so bored he just play by himself. He'd just be like, doo, 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 doo.
He'd be like playing like a Game Gear or something for like Sega Tennis or something like that. Not even.
Yeah.
But no, but that fucking Kia, we saw like
No, it wasn't. What, it's
it was a
Scion.
Kia. I thought
Yeah,
it was
it was
Kia.
Kia.
No, it is Kia. Those
Yeah.
like the They made one of those new like hamster.
It was like
commercials.
this ad of like these fucking hamsters that were like.
Well, it's
'cause-
that same way. It's those same hamsters. They've been using them for like the last like probably almost 2 years by now.
Yeah.
Maybe. It sounds weird to say it like that, but I think those commercials are actually kind of old.
And the whole time they're showing these hamsters fucking like exercising the whole time, and I'm like,
They're
just
like,
having trouble.
Like one guy's running on a treadmill and he turns and falls and is like he's getting dragged to the bottom as these
Yeah.
chicks just kind of look at him like I'm not helping that fat
No,
fuck.
I'm watching this
Actually, I think
commercial.
he fell because he was watching the chicks.
Maybe he was looking at the chicks.
Yeah, that's what happened.
That's why I would fall. I mean,
And then like as I'm watching the commercial, I'm like, I get these hamsters. Kia gets me, you know, because I'm
they're having
sitting
a hard time. Like, they're trying to do sit-ups. They're trying, you know.
trying. Like I get this.
And then they go
I
on the
know where
pulley system. They just get like whipped across the room.
Yeah, the hamster's like, come on, guys, just push me for a TV, you know. So
But
I'm like-
for some reason, like they can still dance though.
yeah, and I'm just watching this commercial. I'm like, I get it, Kia. I get it. Then I'll send
You're
them.
talking to me.
Yeah, and then they pull up in like some big premiere, and they all come out looking like One Direction. I'm like, fuck you, Kia. Fuck you, because they're all thin. They got their
They're
hair
skinny.
skinny.
They're wearing suits. They just like total like douchebags now.
I'm like, fuck Kia. And fuck those hamsters.
Yeah. Now they think they're all better than all of us.
Yeah. You're a hamster. You're not better than me, goddammit.
You fucking hamsters. The day a hamster is better than me, that's the day I'm fucking pissed.
Might as well just put a goddamn shotgun in your throat right there. I don't know why my overweight 8-year-old self has like a faintly southern draw to it, but...
Well, speaking of watching Riddick, because that was the pre-show, was the Fat Hamsters.
Fat Hamsters. It sounds like that was a commercial they had before the trailers, but it's one of those things like, the short film before Riddick, The Fat Hamsters. Brought to you
Sponsored by Kia. Killed in action.
Forgot about that.
But I went on like a kind of like a Pitch Black marathon or Chronicles of Riddick marathon, whatever you want to call those movies. The series, I guess. I guess they call it Chronicles of Riddick. That's what it says in my trilogy pack.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like, I need to go back and watch these once again. It's been a couple of years since I think I've seen them. And Pitch Black, though, when I was watching it, I was like, that actually is one of the best sci-fi movies I could possibly think of. I've always really liked that one, but I like that. That's a great movie.
It's a pretty good one, yeah. What's kind of interesting about it is the way you look at it now. Back then, maybe it would have been whatever. But now it's kind of weird when you look back at it, because really, Vin Diesel's not the main character of that movie. The girl who gets killed is really
she's really the main. Vin Diesel's kind of just there as like the guy, because it really, if you watch the movie the first time and had no idea who Vin Diesel was, which kind of like when that movie came out was sort of what it was, you're probably just like, well, that's the bad guy of the movie the whole time. And you're gonna realize like, no, that's the main character.
Mm-hmm. But really, looking back, the girl's the main character.
No, yeah, she pretty much is.
And so it's kind of weird knowing like you got this whole kind of Riddick trilogy built around kind of like where it started off at, which is that girl, and then like you feel you feel bad for that girl at the end of the movie.
Yeah, because it's just kind of like, it's
kind
like,
of.
well, she's like, oh, we gotta save him, Riddick. What do you mean you're just gonna take off? You come with me.
I think he was just testing her. I think he was going to go back. I think he was just testing her. Because he does have that kind of moral parameter. Like, he will say some fucked up shit and do mind games with you because he's a little fucked in the head. But I think he was going to go back. Because he killed Johns in order to, like... Because he was talking about which girl do you think we should kill? We should kill the small one, so...
Yeah, because, that guy...
Why would he save her?
Which that guy's like the douchebag from, like, Dazed and Confused, like the red-haired guy.
Yeah. Yeah, that was one of those things that when that guy came in... Because that movie kind of like plays with you a little bit, because when you first start off, it's like, oh, that guy's the main character, I guess, the cowboy or whatever. It's like, oh shit, the Merc, he's the asshole. Then it goes in like, oh, I guess the girl's the main character. You're not sure who is for a while because people keep on coming and dying. And that movie, when you first watch Pitch Black, you're not really too sure about it what I mean is like, kind of anybody feels like they're in danger because one of the first people to die is one of the kids. And that's a pretty.
And it's a religious kid.
And that's pretty ballsy for being a '90s movie.
Is it '90s? I thought it was like 2001.
Maybe it's 2001. I thought it was '90s.
I want to say it was.
I got it right here. Let me reach.
Maybe it is.
I thought it was like '98 or something.
Let's see.
Maybe it's '98.
You're 2000.
Those aliens, they look like we wish we were xenomorphs.
Right.
Yeah. Well, that one. Yeah. Well, I think
I
one of the cool.
love those aliens. It's like my favorite aliens ever.
The xenomorphs or those aliens?
These ones.
Those ones, really?
Yeah.
One of the cool things with the movie too is it's like it has this kind of thing. Like I like how like the look of the movie changes depending on what sun's up.
Yeah.
So you either get this like very desaturated look or this very like
overly bright look.
Yeah, overly bright, highlighted look. I guess you could say like where everything's like orange, and then you get Pitch Black.
Yeah. Maybe it was 01, but still, that was kind of regardless. Before Rambo 4, I can't think of a movie where you show the kids die right off the bat, very violently too. Yeah. I mean, so that I give the movie credit for that. Plus, but then you get to like Chronicles of Riddick.
Well, that's like the one thing I like about Pitch Black too is I like how almost kind of like how simple the movie is though too. Like, it doesn't really. It's almost like it's like the main like the effect of it. Oh, okay, well that makes sense. So I guess it is before Fast and the Furious. So really, nobody had any idea who Vin Diesel was. They used to have him as like the Iron Giant or something.
He's like rock tree. But he's gonna be playing Groot in Guardians of the Galaxy, which that seems like a real fucking waste. Because Groot, all he can say is, "My name is Groot." It's like
he should be
get
Vision.
Him Vision, yeah. That's fucking smart. Get him as Vision, or maybe throw him in as Thanos.
But no, like the one thing about Pitch Black though is I love how simple that movie is. It's so then that's almost like the better way to go with movies is don't try to make them too complicated. Just go with a simple premise and just kind of expand from there. And then the one thing it kind of I guess like the unique look because I just remember when that movie first came out. Like what made it stand out though was like those kind of the different filters from the different suns. That was what it was like. Whoa, that looks different, honey. Yeah. Check out that movie, Pitch Black, starring this Vin Diesel fella.
Plus, it was also kind of like it's one of those things. In my opinion, a lot of like science fiction horror it's kind of like, well, after Alien, what's the point? But you watch that one actually does a good job about it, and it brings a lot of different, like, you know, it brings in elements you didn't think before. Just because the group in the film is actually, most of them are actually fairly likable, or at least interesting enough characters to want to hang around with. Where everything before that seemed kind of like, all right, we're trying to be alien or aliens. You know?
Yeah, no, so you got a lot of cool, unique characters. Then you also get Vin Diesel.
There's cool, unique characters. Then there's Vin Diesel.
That guy, you know, he's just there or whatever, you know?
Whatever, I'm always tied up.
Yeah. And then there's Chronicles of Riddick, which
you can totally tell that the director's like, you know what, Pitch Black was my start, but I just want to make this huge space opera epic movie.
Sci-fi.
Because it's kind of funny, because like, you think about Pitch Black, it's actually very sci-fi. There's not really any fantasy in it.
Yeah.
But you get the Chronicles of Riddick, it starts becoming almost like a fantasy-ish movie.
Yeah.
It's like totally fantasy.
Well, it's like Dune or something like that.
It's fantasy in space.
Yeah.
Parts of it felt like a Godsmack video. I don't know. I thought so. There's the one bounty hunter. He looks like the lead singer to Godsmack, and plus everything was saturated.
The guy with like the big sideburns and stuff.
Yes, I'm coming for you, Riddick. You know. He looked like a guy, kind of like, you know, like.
Elvis never died with me.
I have a Metallica cover band. We play it Friday nights.
Actually,
down at the Raiders bar.
Well, on that ice planet, though, you killed my bass player.
Now it's personal. Enter Sandman's never gonna sound the same.
And you know, Chronicles Break, it's a good movie. It's not like amazing though. It's not like it's amazing like Pitch Black. Like I enjoy that movie, but there's something about like I don't know what it is. I think it's also too because Riddick's actually not in that movie nearly as much as he should be.
In Chronicles of Riddick?
Yeah, Chronicles of Riddick.
I think part of it is like, did I cut you off right there, Joe?
Go for it.
Oh, okay. I think part of it is like, it went from being, I mean, I think the look of the movie looks amazing, but I think the problem with it is that you kind of, you got this very very dark R-rated type of universe, but it's PG-13.
I mean, on the DVD, they try to give you, like, the unrated, like...
They say, like, two
fucks
They say 2 fucks, and one of the fucks looks 80 yard.
Yeah.
You know? The other one could have been 80 yard for all I know, because I didn't see that movie in theaters, so...
Yeah.
But, and then, the other part of it is, I mean, I guess it's way different than Pitch Black.
Because it's not a horror movie anymore, and it's, you know, as I said, it's now sci-fi fantasy. And Riddick's just kind of almost like there. I mean, he becomes a major part towards the end, but at first he's just kind of there. Like, people are hunting him down, but it's almost focusing on, like, the
necro people.
The necromongers. And then I think what that one was trying to do more than, like, what Pitch Black was trying to do is that it actually tried to encompass more of the universe style of that.
Well, that's what I felt like.
Universe
he was shooting for, like, I want to make the expanded universe of what Pitch Black is.
But I guess just since we got such a tiny window of Pitch Black, I guess we weren't. I guess it was something way different. Like, I guess we got a little bit of kind of like something similar to Pitch Black when he got to the prison world. We got a little bit of that,
because that's when it feels more Pitch Black like.
But then after that, it becomes because everyone's like talking and kind of like apparently when you're evil and you're in space, you got a British accent. And everyone walks around like...
Well, then they start doing that, like, which I always think is kind of weird in sci-fi sometimes when they do it, is when it starts to become, like, Knights of the Round Table kind of y, and it's like, but we're in space.
Future.
Yeah, it's like, why did we go back? They do that in Dune, too, and I always thought that was kind of strange. It was like... I mean, Dune probably is fine because that was close to being one of the first ones to do it. This person did it way before Dune, but...
Maybe.
But, like, Dune's where I always think of it kind of happening first.
Yeah.
We're just kind of like that, my lord! And it's like, and we're 3,000 years
My space zombie ghost lord, what shall I do for you today?
Bring me Riddick now! We're like 10,000 years in the future, and this is where we're at. We're back to this point again.
Well, everything kind of goes and comes back, It's kind of like, we kind of have,
Well, Star Trek's a perfect example of, like, going to the future without really feeling like we've, like, gone backwards.
Yeah. I'm saying just in pop culture trends itself. I mean, just look. I mean, things come and go. Like certain aspects of music comes back. Grunge has kind of come back through the hipster movement in some way.
My lord gonna come back?
It's gonna come back at some point. We run out of everything else,
Where you have to go up to the president, bow down on one knee, and go,
Wait,
my lord!
My lord! Would you sign this veto? Or will you veto this?
Please don't go to Syria. I mean, when you actually go back and see, I mean, really the movie's good, and I think they had too much of a. They're trying to jam too much into like a 2-hour movie because they also threw in some aspect. Like, didn't they throw in something? Because I haven't seen the movie like in 5 or 6 years.
I just went to watch it like again, like I think last night and the night before.
Wasn't there like a part where like Riddick has some flashback where he has some mysterious part of his past, where some like ghost lady or something is saying like.
You mean the lady, Judi Dench?
Well, maybe it's Judi Dench,
the
but
bear lady.
Jerry did. Well, I think there's a part of
I know
dream,
what part you're talking. Yeah,
and he has some link to the necrophiliacs or whatever the fuck they are. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Isn't there a part like that?
Yeah, there was a part.
And he has a bracelet or some shit that links back to them.
The one thing about that movie too is every time I watch it, I feel like I get the movie, but then there's a half a part of it I just don't get. Sort of like, I feel like I'm slightly lost. Like I'll be. And I've only seen the movie. That's probably the third time I watched it. Was like last night.
Night vision eyes. I fucking get it, man.
And like it's like Pitch Black. It's like it makes total sense to me. But that movie I watched, and about 2 hours in the movie, I'm like, I almost have to like restate what just happened in this movie. Okay. And then I'm still slightly lost. Like,
because he's apparently in some way, I guess he's kind of some kind of chosen one.
Yeah, that's what
but
he
at the
becomes.
same time,
and I feel like I almost need like a manual that like explains this movie along the way, like a clip note.
Some bad guy comes by. The bad guy's right hand man comes by, who he thinks about the tips and says, "I was a chosen one too, but I'm not. Now I'm gonna go walk into the fire." You see him like just crumble pieces in the background. You know what I'm talking about?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. So, and that's going off like a movie I saw 5 years ago. I have it, but I haven't watched like in 5 or 6 years, so I don't really remember it as well. But then you get to this one, Riddick, which
it kind of goes back to like, well, Pitch Black, but the people could handle that a little bit easier.
Well, at the same time, it actually kind of made sense and locks them both because they feel like two such different movies. I mean, Riddick was awesome the whole way through, but this one it felt much more of kind of like, all right, these can fit in the same universe.
Yeah,
we just need them in small doses. We just need the necro people in small doses.
I don't think you've seen this, Ryan. Did you ever see the Dark Fury, like the animated like one that goes between Pitch Black?
I never have. No,
I never even heard of that.
Yeah, there's like this one called Dark Fury, and it's on like the triple disc set one I have.
I'll be honest, I was never interested in watching it because it's by the guy who did like Reign to Conquer and Aeon Flux, and I never liked that guy's stuff.
Like the guy who did like the Aeon Flux, the comic or the
live
show.
or the
There's a TV show.
I don't know. Aeon Flux like a heavy metal comic?
I don't believe so. I believe it was an MTV. I believe it was an MTV show.
I think that that's the second part of it. Though. I think it was a heavy metal comic. Some guy was explaining it to me once at the gym because he's like, oh, you like comics? He's like, well, I really like the heavy metal ones. And he was explaining all these ones to me, and I think that's what he said. That Aeon Flux was a heavy metal comic.
Oh, really?
Like
I didn't know.
The 90s, and then they made the TV show. Then they made the movie.
Oh, okay.
And yeah.
I saw like the last 10 minutes of the movie. I'm like, oh, okay, whatever. And then
I saw the first 10 minutes of the movie, and it was alright.
I saw the whole movie. It was okay, but I couldn't tell you what the hell happened in it.
I like Catherine
It's
Zeta-Jones.
been too long. It was like 10 years ago.
I like Catherine Zeta-Jones, the short black hair. She looks good with it. But beyond that, no, I don't remember. But anyway, I don't really like that dude's style or his shows. Not to be a dick, it's just not my thing.
The weird thing in that animation, though, the animation literally changes slightly, like. Not like extremely, but there's a slight change in animation like halfway through that movie.
What else that guy did? He did the last short in Animatrix, the really weird artsy one where they go inside the robot's brain.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just like, it looks like he gave like acid to an art school student.
Huh. The only thing that's kind of cool about the Dark Fury one, it's worth watching. It's not like maybe like amazing, but I mean Vin Diesel does the voice, so that's cool. And it's the same director, even though I don't know if he does the directing of the animation, but same guy wrote it and directed it.
Oh, okay.
And it does kind of like go, kind of like link between the two of them, like kind of like how the Vin Diesel and like Jack or whatever the chick calls herself in the second one.
Uh-huh.
So the chick gets like even more manly in the second one. She's got long hair, but now she's like like a prisoner and a killer.
I thought she still had the short hair.
Not in the second one.
In Chronicles?
She's got like long hair in that one. But now she's like, now I need a woman's name because I've got even more manly. Don't call me Jack anymore. Jack's dead.
She's just like Kira or something.
Yeah, I think it's Kira.
She's like, I'm a brand new animal, and she like just jumps off a fence or something like that.
Yeah.
Well, what how do they just quickly sum up what happens really between Pitch Black and
I've only watched that Dark Fury thing once, like, and it was like 3 years ago or whenever I got like that set because I was like, I've never seen this, and all of my I can't. It was one of those ones. I almost like that Dragon Ball Z episode where like Bulma and Gohan and Krillin like meet those aliens before they go to Namek.
Oh, you forgot it existed for a second? Like, oh, okay.
Oh, yeah,
it's
that's
not that important, but it's there.
Well, it's one of those ones, like, it's like, so pretty much what happens, they're on that ship, you know, after they leave Pitch Black, and then they run into some other group of aliens, or people, or fuck knows what, in space. You know, they park up next to each other and go, yo, what's going on? Then shit happens, and then Riddick has to save the day, and then they decide to split up, and I have to rewatch it again, actually, to tell you the truth.
Shit happens, Riddick leaves.
Shit happens, Riddick leaves.
She just Spark Notes with Spencer Scott Holmes. So
I can barely even give you, like, the one-sentence summary of that one.
So Citizen Kane, the dude has, like, the bulb or something in his hand, he says... flower, and he drops the fucking bulb, and then like other guys looking for it. Oh fuck! It was a sled.
And somewhere along the way, like the table started to get bigger between the couple.
And he was reading the Chronicles. She was reading the Gazette.
She was reading the Chronicles of Riddick.
Oh, bring it back all around. You know.
But back to Riddick, or like the third one.
The fourth, however you look at it.
The fourth, if you want to count.
Or the fifth, because apparently there's another animated short that's like 6 minutes long.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, then there's also like there's a couple Chronicles of Riddick's video games too.
Yeah.
Which I played one of them once like back in the day for like Xbox. Somebody let me borrow it, like they wanted to borrow like Mega Man X, and they let me borrow this one. This was like the point where I've seen Pitch Black once, but I don't think I saw the Chronicles of Riddick yet, so I wasn't like this big fan. So I was like, oh, okay, I'll check it out. Like, well, you know, like when you're kind of playing like something, you're like, you almost really, it's like I sort of know. Sort of know. It's almost like going to play a Star Trek game with like, you know, like, well, I caught a part of, like, Star Trek Nemesis.
I saw the one with
the episode once.
Yeah. They're gonna make heads or tail what the fuck was going on.
They're a ship.
They're looking for whales or some shit. We were talking about that today, Joe. Like, what was
that Star Trek 5?
4.
4, okay, there we go, yeah.
So they're part, like, they're kind of like, what happened, like, some people from space, like, we want some fucking whales.
No,
it's
like, aliens wanted to communicate with the whales or else they'd destroy the planet or some shit.
Why do you guys want to talk to these whales? They're good listeners, and I got a lot on my mind. You talk to us, fuck you, I want a whale.
Fuck you guys, you suck.
Okay, I guess we gotta go back in time and find a fucking whale.
Well, you know, if Riddick could fight a whale.
You just keep on trying to get us back on track.
You know what I think is really cool about Riddick, though, is I love how the movie was like, it starts off...
so different.
Well, it's almost like a Mad Max / A Boy and His Dog kind of movie, where he's just like, Riddick's just on like...
Riddick and his dog.
The wasteland, pretty much. And he's just gotta like, I gotta get back to my animal instincts of survival. And he even like befriends a dog, like zebra-looking like hyena dog thing.
It looks like an Egyptian, like it came from an Egyptian wall or whatever.
Yeah. So he gets like the dog. It really is like, it's like a boy and his dog, but with like Vin Diesel.
Vin Diesel and his dog.
And his space dog. A man and his dog, best of friends to the very end.
It's like they should have had like some kind of like Jeremiah Johnson song over this, like Riddick and his dog walk up the hill.
Well, that's like in A Boy and His Dog, they have music like that in it, like that kind of like folk, like.
Yeah. And some chicks try to drain his spunk from his man junk or something like that. Isn't that what happens in the movie? They hook him up to some kind of machine to
like jerk him off machine, so he can like repopulate. And like have you ever seen the movie A Boy and His Dog? Go check it out. It's got Don Johnson's in it, and it's like 1976 or something.
Nice.
And it's just him and this dog, and they can talk to each other like telepathically. And they're really just on this wasteland. And on the wasteland, there's almost like no women left because they've just either been raped and murders and whatnot. Wasteland. What you gonna do? So like he's just kind of going around and stuff. And they're always just kind of like looking for a chick, just because like you don't just see a chick on the corner anymore. And then at some point, though, like there's literally this underground like fallout shelter of people where like they kind of try to make like a 50s style community underneath. But these people are all weird. They're like, every once in a while we have to go up and get someone from the top because the men down here can't like pregnate women anymore because of just no sunlight or something like that from living underground.
Pseudoscience bullshit.
Yeah, so they capture like Don Johnson. He's like hooked up to like a machine. It's like jerking him off.
I wasn't aware that our shit was solar powered.
Right?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, put your balls in the sun. But no, check it out. It's actually really cool.
All right.
Back to Riddick, the man and his dog. But I think it's cool. It's like he goes from this like wasteland survival thing where it's like, you know, Riddick versus nature, you know, battling off like the serpent things and the hyena dogs.
First like 10 minutes. First
serpent,
bug scorpion thing.
Yes,
water amphibian thing.
first 20 minutes of the movie, there's barely any dialogue, and it is just kind of him just in his dog for a while. And that's what's cool about it, because it is him versus nature. It's like really a 3-act structure. First act is him
and then he calls the mercs next.
Yeah, because he finds like a public station where any like mercenaries or whoever can come down and just use the station, refuel, whatever, just get some rest.
I was saying about that, like, who goes by and refills that stuff? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
they're mercs, you know. Most of those guys gotta be, like, dirty and horrible and just, like, leave their shit everywhere and steal.
I would just loot the entire place.
Oh, yeah, it's just like, there must be some, like, honor code going on here. Like, you know, you don't raid a station, man. Like, that's the one rule of being a merc.
If the other mercenaries in Chronicles of Riddick were, like, the Metallica cover band, these guys are the Godsmack cover band.
Look at the Mexican guys and stuff?
Yeah. I think so.
I don't know about that, because like most of the guys aren't even like white.
Oh no, a lot of them looked kind of like those kind of guys you'd see to listen to that kind of shit at least, because they have like there's like the one guy, I don't know, just people I know up here, like I know that fucker right there. Maybe he doesn't have like some kind of like dreadlock mohawk going on, but I know that guy.
Well, that was badass because like Batista was in this movie again, which is sweet.
That's who that guy was.
Yeah, the guy he was in Man with the Iron Fist.
I knew that guy looked familiar.
I'm glad to see that guy keeps getting more stuff because I like that guy a lot.
Yeah.
He's a pretty good actor.
No, yeah, he's a good actor. He's big.
The one thing though is he kind of like just switches all of a sudden.
Well, they really, because he's like at first he's the real nice guy, and all of a sudden it's like no. Everybody knows we came here to see Vin Diesel fight Batista.
Yeah.
He's fought The Rock, now he's gonna fight Batista.
Because he's like, okay, they're working together. He seems like the more reasonable one. Nope, he's the bad guy.
Wait a minute. Fuck you guys.
He's way more threatening than the guy that was, what's his name, Santana or whatever.
Yeah.
Which I think that was the bad guy from Bad Boys 2.
I think so too. But what I like about the movie is, okay, so you go from like the wasteland with the boy and his dog, then you go to like pretty much the mercenaries come down and like, we're here to get Riddick. And then Riddick's almost like the guy on the outside, like stalking them. Yeah, Predator style, killing these guys off. And then next, you know, there's these sea serpents that kind of come with the rain or whatever you want to call them, scorpions.
Yeah, it's like they're underground, and once it rains, it's cool enough for them to come out, and it becomes
I
like
think what
pitch
they
black.
just need is they just need water.
Yeah, I think that's what it was.
So, like, you know, if it's raining, they can just keep going with the rain.
Yeah.
And then they're just going... It's funny because, like, Vin Diesel really kills, like, 2 of these things. They're like, fuck that guy. Fuck that guy. Make that rain cloud follow him. He killed Billy and Joe. Come on.
You like them, right? Billy was cool. Joe
Gunn was a douche.
Not you, Joe. We're actually talking about...
Yeah, I noticed.
We're talking about Serpent Joe.
I was trying to make up quick names. Fucking Dave.
How's it feel having a name that can just easily plop into hypothetical situations?
It's pretty awesome.
Billy, Joe, Bob, Dave,
Billy, Joe,
Steve.
Bob, Dave, Steve. Jim.
Yeah. Damn it, Jim.
Yeah. But no, I thought it was a good flick, and then it becomes like they got to team up. It just becomes kind of like Pitch Black, but it's different because by this point we already know who the main character is. The other Pitch Black will figure out who the main character is, and what's kind of cool is, I mean, I'll be honest. I saw Pitch Black just a little bit ago. I saw Chronicles of Riddick a while back, and then I'm like, I should probably watch Pitch Black at some point. I knew this movie was coming out, so I went out, bought it, watched it, because I figured it'd be better, and it was better. And so going in, and then when hearing like the main mercenary, because there's 2 groups of mercenaries. There's the ragtag, like Godsmack cover band mercenaries. Yeah. Except there's like 1 or 2 of them which are kind of cool.
Like Batista and
the kid.
I don't know. I think they were all pretty cool.
I thought the kid was from the other one.
No, the religious, the Christian kid. Yeah.
Yeah, he was in the other.
He's
on the other one.
He was the Godsmack guy.
No, he wasn't.
No, because there's the girl who's chained up, and he lets the girl out, and then the Santana guy snipes the girl, and that's before.
Oh, really? Well, how the fuck is that, like, Christian kid, like...
yeah,
did he just go down to, like, the local job board and just took whatever he could get, like...
Seriously.
Didn't even look, just, like, started checking off every checkbox.
Right. He just got to the point where he just kept sending in applications. He didn't really care what it was by this point.
Okay, let's go to, like, some mercenaries. You guys want an intern. You know? So, we got this Christian kid. His name's Luna. So, you know, he'll be the bitch. You guys can take turns fucking him.
Yeah. Gets lonely up there in space.
Yeah, so there is, but, no, but when you actually, there's that, and there's actually the team of the, like, the highly trained, like, they got good gear, and, there's the main guy in it, like, he's actually on top of his shit, he seems kind of cool, and then you actually hear him say his name, like, what's your name? He says, Johns, and like, Oh shit! Because that was the name of the
douchey merc in the first one.
Yeah, so it just like there it clicks. Oh yeah, so this is kind of one of those sequels. You actually do need to see the first one,
or it helps. Or you be like, wait, what? What's this backstory they talk about?
Yeah, exactly. Because you can still, I think you can still watch Chronicles of Riddick and like, all right, he has some history with that girl, or he has history with the priest. But generally, you can jump into that movie and because it's kind of its own story. This one, it really is in some ways sort of like kind of rehashing Pitch Black, but it doesn't do it like in a very just like sloppy or lazy way. It goes about it in interesting ways and different ways.
Well, yeah, I don't think it's like rehashing it. It's just more going back to like a simpler style of movie instead of being like an epic style movie.
Well, I mean, it's in the sense of it being kind of like they brought in the aspect of we got to board ourselves off from these creatures that come out only at a certain time, in a certain way, in a certain environment. And then on top of that, we're gonna get. It doesn't become to the level. It's this.
And we got to work together, even though we don't like each other.
Then we got to backstab each other, and then
it doesn't become the level of a. This is still an action film. I would not call this action horror because they don't really have any. There is no real jump scare moment. There is the what's it look like. It's just kind of when they do go out there against them, they are just running through.
Well, you already kind of know what they look like anyway, since the movie introduces them earlier.
I mean,
yeah, we're pitch. Sorry, go ahead, Joe.
The horror part would be at the beginning when he first sees the scorpion thing.
Yeah. Well, I'm saying because in
creepy.
Pitch Black, it was a while before you saw what the monsters looked like, and they try to get you with a few jump scares, and some people dying off before you saw them. And that guy gets like sucked down the hole and stuff. Yeah, and there's the kid who got like eaten from the closet or whatever. So, this one,
there's one part where they said in the Pitch Black though, I think it's really weird. There's the part, and that main girl, you know, she always gets sent first into all the shitty situations. They're like, well, you know, how about you go down that hole? And go best, and then when she gets down there, she kind of gets to the point where it's like, this was really fucking stupid. But there's other parts of the movie too where they send her out first, like, yeah, might as well you go first.
It should be safe. You go first.
Yeah. There was a part that actually kind of I was a little sad. I was glad to see him in there, but I was sad to see him go. There is I think his name is Bokeem Woodbine. I think it's his name. He was Mark Wahlberg's friend in The Big Hit. He was the guy that was always jerking off. He was the guy who was always...
that guy was in the movie?
That's the guy that was always jerking off.
I know that guy. I know who that is in The Big Hit, but...
I think that was...
He was in Riddick?
He was the black guy that was on like the team.
I like to point that out. There's no other black guy on the cover. He's the black guy. I felt the need that I had to point it out. Out of the 4 people on the cover of The Big Hit,
he's the guy that's not Mark Wahlberg or Lou Diamond Phillips.
Yeah, or that other guy.
Yeah, but what was I gonna say? I really liked that character, so I was sad to see him go.
Who was he in Riddick?
He was the guy who was like, we want to know if we can borrow some of your gear, but if you guys happen to come with the gear, that's fine.
Oh, that was him.
And he leans back and he puts his ear to his motorcycle. And he's like, what's that? He says, no, bitch. Yeah. So I was sad to see that guy because I like the guy. He was also in the Total Recall remake.
Oh, yeah.
Which, the remake's whatever, but that guy, I liked him a lot, you know? Mm-hmm. Something about that guy. I just like that actor.
No, I really do too. He's the best character in The Big Hit.
Yeah.
By far.
You ever seen The Big Hit, Joe?
Never seen that
It's
one.
a really good movie.
It's kind of a silly action comedy, but what happens is the character we're talking about, he's like this good, in shape, big, like really big black dude, and he's all like, he just discovered jerking off.
Like he's 35.
And he's all like, you never jerked off before? No, I've been getting fucked since I was 10 years old. I never needed it. You know? So whenever you see him, he has like some kind of like hand exercise deal. And then like
the best part's at the very end though.
There's a part where him and Lou Diamond Phillips
Marky Mark and Lou Diamond Phillips are fighting.
In like
a movie store.
In a VHS rental store. It's the 90s. And for some reason it's 2-story. They're fighting on a chandelier. It takes a lot of like kind of like Hong Kong kind of kung fu references and whatnot. There's a part where they're fighting, and then Lou Diamond Phillips stops and just has a weird look, looking past Mark Wahlberg. He turns around, there's a picture in the adult section, our best customer, has a picture of him giving 2 thumbs up.
It's one of the movies, yeah, it's like, it starts off and there's a couple jokes, you're like, what the fuck, is this supposed to be like a stupid movie? And then it gets like kind of serious, but with comedy throughout it.
Mm-hmm. It's actually, it's a pretty good flick.
It is really well made.
Mm-hmm. And I was sad to see that guy die because I like that guy. I like whenever he's in it. Whatever. I haven't seen him in very many things. I've only seen him like in 4 things.
He's the one that got sucked up through the roof, right?
He's one. Yeah, I think 2 guys got it. He's one of them. Maybe he was the one that
how he died.
A tail came down, impaled him, and pulled him up through the roof.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, he's looking at the energy nodes or whatever.
Yeah.
No, that's right.
Mm-hmm. Now, because for a while, Riddick's out of the movie. For like the middle of the movie, he's out of it. He's just kind of like, he's the monster for a little while. Which is cool, because that's kind of a different... It's like
cool
3 different movies.
Yeah, I like how it just changes throughout the movie and just kind of keeps you, like... It gives you something different each time, like, every, like, 40 minutes or something, you could say.
I want to go back to the beginning just for a second. I think it's kind of fun, because they just kind of quickly brush aside the necromancer things.
He's like, yeah, I was king for a bit. It got slow.
I got kind of tired. I got tired of having 7 ways with hot ghost chicks, you know?
And having people, like, wait at me all day long.
Yeah, and, like, there's, you know, you see, like, 4 or 5, like, gorgeous, like, naked woman in bed, just like, come on, Riddick, come back to bed. You see him with a drink, just
in his chair, just hunched, or, like, leaning back, like, legs out, like, whatever, fuck it.
I'm tired of fucking. Pussy boards me now. I need to get back to killing.
And he's boy and his dog.
Until he meets the lesbian, then he's like, oh yeah, I'm back into it.
It's a challenge. When he meets the lesbian, it's a challenge. It's what it
challenge
is.
has been presented.
Which I think a lot of women's groups are gonna be pretty pissed off about this movie, which I kind of understand, because the whole time she's like, I don't fuck dudes, and then at the very end she's like totally flirting and hitting on him, and she's all like, Vin Diesel's like, yeah, all she needed was a dick. You know?
Just needed the old Vin Dick. Which I love it, like when they said what like Riddick's actual name was. His name's Dick Riddick.
That's a good point.
I thought that was
They say that
hilarious.
in the first one.
Did they say that?
Richard B. Riddick.
For some reason, I guess I didn't catch that ever in like the other ones.
Mm-hmm.
Like Dick
Riddick.
Dick B. Riddick.
You know what? He probably got a lot of
hearing his name and then the other two.
He got a lot of shit back in elementary school, so that's probably why he trained himself to be the biggest badass, and it all went downhill from there. That's probably what happened. He probably like, beat like Dick Riddick, Dick Riddick, Dick Riddick. He's just like, y'all better stop making fun of me. I'm 12 years old. Gorge some kid's eyes out with like a space spork or whatever. Been on the run ever since.
But overall, though, that movie was just all around good.
Yeah, I totally dug it.
I liked it a lot.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
I enjoyed it.
I think it's probably the best out of the 3. I mean, I know sometimes you need to go back and watch a movie again, but really, I mean, I watched Pitch Black not that long ago, and I know it's better than Chronicles of Riddick. So
yeah,
I think this one's better because it makes everything kind of fit in. The necromancer things, they're not a huge part of it, but acknowledge them for a second. I think it's kind of funny. Like, Carl Urban, what?
You my bitch.
We need you to kind of come back for a second. Like, fuck, man, what do I gotta do? You know, like, all right, guys, we got Carl Urban. Oh, so he's gonna be like, we got him for like an hour. Like, oh, okay, you know, because that's all. Because when I heard Carl Urban was back in the movie, like, oh, awesome, because Carl Urban's big now. Because he wasn't really, he was up and coming.
He was in Lord of the Rings. I guess was kind of like
he was up and coming, but he still wasn't big. It was kind of like the combination of Dredd, Bones, I guess Pathfinder, which some people like. I never saw it.
Never saw it.
And then 300 and Lord of the Rings.
Oh,
and then
Lord of the Rings.
He was Boromir.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Or the
no,
Boromir.
Boromir.
One of the brothers. I don't fucking know.
He wasn't Boromir.
The one that lived.
He was the one that's like his father's like, I hate you, Boromir. I really hate you.
I wish you died and I had my other son. You know.
Then we could have gay sex forever as father and son. But you, Boromir, you've ruined it. You've ruined everything. You're the worst son ever.
I just like the thing with this is going a few podcasts back. Like, I'm adopting this hobbit. This hobbit's my son now.
He's my love child son. The son that you could never be, Boromir.
Pippin's like, whoa, what? I just said I didn't agree to this. He just pulls him in closer. He's my real son.
Get that photographer over here. I want to make sure that every photo in this room...
My 1400s photographer.
It's okay, it's really just a magician. That's all ever photography is. Magic!
That shit will steal your soul.
I want you to know, we're getting a mural painted of us together running through the field of flowers, but you can't be in it. I hate you, Boromir. I really do.
So, Riddick.
This one, too, is more like... Carl Urban, you're now the bitch of the castle.
Wasn't it something like he, that character, one-upped him somehow, and he had some information he needed or something like that? So
yeah, he's like, the only map is in my head.
Yeah, he's trying to find Riddick was trying to find his home planet or something.
Mm-hmm.
And then he was the only one left alive that knew about it for some reason.
And they screwed him over, so he's just... And Riddick's not even... He just seems kind of like, usually I go get revenge, but fuck it. I got a dog. That's all I need.
Man and his dog. Best of friends.
When that dog died, I knew it was coming.
Yeah.
Because they show the dog as a puppy, and I'm guessing he's on that planet for several years because we see the dog grow up, or it could just be maybe a year later. Dogs grow up big sometimes.
Yeah, it depends on the dog.
Depends on the dog. It's a space
Still,
Egyptian
he's been
dog.
there for a while. I guess that's just the key thing.
It's a space Egyptian dog, so it's probably maybe it grows faster than
Could have
others.
been like 2 days. You never know.
Just feed these things fucking water. Look at that. You know? No, but when that dog died, I knew it was gonna happen because they were making you love that dog so much. I'm like, I know it's gonna happen.
And they're also kind of showing you that, like, look at Riddick found a friend in love.
I figured it would be one of those things.
And you just know that Riddick's such a solo act. It's almost like it's bound to happen.
Well, it's one of those things they always kind of get across that he has some kind of like mutual, kind of like Wolverine. He has some mutual respect or level with Beast, kind of, because there's that part in Chronicles of Riddick when they released like those spike cat things and they're all running all over the prison killing people. He just takes off his goggles, looks at one, and next thing you know, he's like scratching its balls for it or something. So
yeah. And he just kind of looks at the other guy.
It's like, what? You scared of this thing, fucking pussy?
He's gotta scratch his balls. That's the secret to
That's
any
all they
animal.
want. Yeah, scratch the balls. They'll be your best friends. Next time you're marooned on a desert planet and you come across a space dog, scratch its balls. It will do anything for you.
That's all they want.
Yeah. They don't want your fucking meat. They just want you to scratch their fucking balls. So no, yeah, when that dog died, which I saw it coming, it's like, oh, low blow. You're making me hate that character more, but no, because it was Santana.
Santana, even though I like Santana music, but
not this Santana.
Santana.
Which I want to say this isn't the movie's fault; it's the marketing campaign. But I feel like we are at the point where trailers say too much because in the Red Band trailer, they show Santana dying. So I'm assuming
they did. I guess I never saw that.
I saw the Red Band trailer.
The only trailer I saw was like the one. It wasn't even like a real trailer. It was like the one like the Regal movie trailer thing. Like
they show the part in the Red Band trailer. It's like, when the chains come up, you die first. You know, and then like he like kicks the knife up and like slams the knife into the dude's head, cutting the top of his head, half part of his head off, which is awesome. But I was just like, oh, that's so fucking dope. But then when I actually saw. Then I'm expecting that to happen fairly soon. Then I'm like, it happens at the very beginning of the third act. So I'm like, really? I mean, I think we're at this point where they're showing too much of the trailer. And plus...
Well, they show the box in the trailer?
They didn't show...
See, the box is the whole point.
The box. The box is what took away, because his part of his head slides down into the box right there.
Yeah, I mean, that was the entire purpose of him dying.
Yeah, that's the real spoiler.
Gotta keep that part secret.
Spoiler, his head goes in a box.
Box is important to the storyline.
Yeah. I like that part though, it's just, you're the guy who's talking about putting my head in a box. Oh, everyone has a box, man. This guy has a box. He has a big fucking box.
Yeah, like, we're your box boy now.
No, but really good flick. Yeah. Don't know what else to say about that.
All around pretty good.
Well, really quickly, what about the Robocop trailer, the new one?
Okay, you guys go first because you probably know more about Robocop than I do, and I'll go last.
I mean,
I really like Robocop 1.
I didn't really care for the trailer, at least. I don't know about.
No, do you like Paul Verhoeven's Robocop, the 87 one?
Yeah.
The one where Red Foreman shoots Robocop?
I haven't seen that for years.
It's like, dumbass!
Yeah, I don't know. This trailer just didn't. I didn't like it.
You know,
I think it just might be how they portray it, but
to me, it's like I'm still interested. I like RoboCop enough that I'd like to see it.
Okay, let's
hear Ryan's opinion.
Here's where the internet.
RoboCop, like not realistic whatsoever.
No, I'm not that guy.
They should make the RoboCop versus Terminator movie though.
that'd be awesome.
I want Riddick versus Predator.
That'd be badass too.
Yeah. I'm kind of like here. I'm kind of here's where the internet's gonna like hate me, but I've never seen RoboCop, any of the RoboCops, but I did watch the Saturday cartoon.
Oh, that is pretty good credit right there.
I watched the cartoon, and that's what I know of RoboCop. So, as far as the actual story goes, I remember I liked it. It wasn't one of those things. Oh, just watch. It actually came on it came on after Sonic Underground.
Was it on USA?
No, it was on originally it was on WB early in the morning, I want to say, and it came on after Sonic Underground. That Sonic show.
I didn't have I've seen Sonic Underground, but I saw that on DVD like way later on.
The Sonic show where they're all playing guitars and
the
shit.
Canadian version.
Yes. So that right there was just wondering how that went. Like, just give them some fucking instruments, eh? We'll set it apart.
Make them rad and hip like the Young Americans.
Yeah, give the green one like 80s hairstyle. I think they'll like it, right? Yeah, cool. All right. Anyway, no, that came on, and I remember. Tell me, because that's everything I know about RoboCop really comes from that. I know Frank Miller wrote the scripts to the second and third one, but they changed them radically. Now,
and I haven't seen the second and third one since I was like, 8 years old, like back in the day, like when RoboCop.
Tell me this. I mean, when I was a kid, I thought these kind of acronyms really cool. Now they're kind of cheesy. But tell me if this was in the TV in the movie. Was there an evil organization called Dark? In Dark, like kind of like spelled like Shield, kind of like it was initials.
I want to say there is, but I it's one of those movies like. As much as I like RoboCop, I've only seen that movie like probably like 4 or 5 times, and it's been and I used to watch it a lot when I was a kid. I remember, but I really actually even like I haven't seen it in like
the
about
RoboCop
3 years.
was Terminator video game, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember then when that game came out too, it was like, oh, this is violent.
Yeah.
You can like shoot people and they just explode in the blood.
So as someone who's never seen the actual RoboCop movie, which I want to see before I see this movie, not to compare, just to say
well, you should check out you should see it anyway, because it's a Paul Verhoeven movie.
Uh-huh.
And pretty much anything Paul Verhoeven does is amazing.
I love Total Recall.
Yeah, he did Total Recall and Starship Troopers.
Mm-hmm.
Starship Troopers is amazing.
And
the
Basic
second,
Instinct.
third, and
he didn't do those.
The rest of them, horrible.
Actually, the last one that came out, it was like a CG one, is actually pretty good.
There's actually a CG Saturday morning.
CG
Not Saturday
one.
morning, but there's a CG kids cartoon of like Starship Troopers, which I watched also, and that was like it was like PlayStation 1 cutscene graphics.
Well, this one's got more like PS3
Final Fantasy
cutscene graphics, but
I saw it back in the book.
No, do you know what the live-action TV show is called for Starship Troopers? So I was trying to figure it out like all day today.
I didn't know there's a
I'll have to
live-action
IMDb
show.
that shit.
Yeah, that's. Yeah, because me and my buddy started watching it like 10 years ago, and it was maybe not that long ago, but yeah, it was like Headhunters or Starship Trooper, or is the name?
It
was the name of their like battle battalion group, like Backbreakers or something.
That sounds cool.
Yeah, I mean, interesting.
Well, just
Can't remember it though.
Regarding the RoboCop trailer, real quick though, as someone who's never seen the RoboCop movie and given my limited knowledge on RoboCop, I'm interested. And like I see that trailer, that looks like RoboCop. The action looks cool, so we'll see what happens.
To me,
Now, I'm not like super excited, but like, oh, I'll check it out. Looks interesting.
Badass.
Yeah.
So, well, we got a bunch of emails. A good handful.
Well, I don't.
She got like emails. So I'm gonna read one from Jacob Sampson that probably should have read in the last one, but we just kind of ran out of time. Because I think I literally got it like one of the days or so we did the podcast.
Plus, that was like a 2-hour podcast.
Yeah. Time. So this one right here, this was about a week ago by now. Jacob Sampson says, "Hey guys, your podcasts are still great. By the way, you were discussing Cowboy Bebop and the battle between Spike and Vicious for a little bit when they fight each other with each other's weapons. But then they slide and attack each other. This is like way too fucking like 16 hours later in the day after like I was asleep probably for like 2 hours last night.
They slide their weapons back to each other. I watched it the other day.
Do they?
Well, we might as well finish the email. Maybe there's something more important after that, but yeah.
Yeah, they slide each other's weapons back, he says that. But anyway, I just started drafting a new comic about a man who is the mayor of a town and is sucked into a universe where he has to go around and kill the evil holes. Holes spelled W-H-O-L-E-S.
Oh, okay.
So, holes as in like whole grain.
Okay.
Which is an organization made of people like Hitler, Osama, Kim Jong-il, Stalin, and many more. That sounds pretty badass. Did I forget to mention the mayor looks like an 8-bit NES character? I just started to create it, and my art looks terrible because it's just a draft. If you'd be so kind to give me an opinion and ideas on this before I finish the volume, I can send you a copy of my script. Well, thank you and goodbye.
All right. Yeah, sure.
I do like stories of like Stalin and like Hitler and all that. We do like those combo ones. It's almost like the old-fashioned like putting Dracula and Frankenstein.
It's
and
kind of the old school Legion of Doom, really, when you think about it.
That's kind of what it is.
Meanwhile, in the swamps of Louisiana, Stalin and Hitler were planning the next attack. You know.
That'd be pretty badass.
No, so I think that'd be cool.
Yeah.
You just put all, just like the heads of like, you even get like pull people from like the past too. You can get like
If you're going with
Genghis
Hitler, I mean, you
Khan,
could get anyone
Genghis
from back in the day.
Khan, Jeffrey Dahmer.
Yeah.
Get Jeffrey
just
Dahmer in there.
just literally make the Legion of Doom out of these people. Just like start picking up a history book and pulling
Just
out like
horrible, awful people like fucking Joe Francis. So shit, Fuck that cocksucker. I hate Joe Francis.
But no, that sounds like a cool story.
That's the Girls Gone Wild guy.
Oh, is that the guy?
Yeah.
Never knew. Never cared, but
He made a lot of money.
He's a douchebag.
For
obviously.
making money.
Oh, he apparently he tried to get he got some girls to come to his house. Aside of just being kind of one of those whatever, bro, I'm a douche. Aside from being one of those kind of guys, he's also because Kevin Smith on his podcast, he's like, I sat behind that guy once I'm on a plane the whole time. He's just bitching like, this fucking airline sucks. Can you get my own fucking
I
private plane?
said that. He said he sat behind him to play.
Play.
Fucking play sucks, man. Like, what's a fucking nuts?
This is the worst 3D movie I've ever seen, And then he's going on. He said apparently that guy like locked some girls in his room, and in his like room or his house, wouldn't let them leave. He goes, I really want to go. He just grabbed the chick by the face, started slamming her head into the tile ground.
Damn.
So it's like, fuck, this guy's a piece of shit. So he should be on that evil team. If you don't use him, that's fine. But yeah, go with the idea, Jacob. Sounds cool.
That'd be pretty badass. Okay, we got some other emails going on. Well,
Email kind of day.
here's actually another one from Jacob Sampson. He probably sent another one because we didn't read one of the last one. Hey guys, it's Jacob. Like always, your podcasts are getting better and better every single time, especially the Ugly Babies one. That was one of the funniest podcasts. Also, that guy Dennis Sweat, he's great, and you should bring him back and ask him when Outcast Zero is being published and where I can buy that comic.
Oh, he would love to hear that right there.
Yeah, because that book sounds amazing. Also, Grit becoming an animated series sounds good. Thank you. Goodbye.
Good to hear.
Well, I think it was Kaboom was where he said it would be on, like probably by Christmas time.
Yeah. Which I looked up Kaboom. I'm not sure if it was the same site, but it looked like the publishing company for like Peanut Gallery and I guess an Adventure Time comic or something. So it might be a different Kaboom, but it will come back to you with that right there.
Okay, and then the next email we got is from Ben Everett. Hi guys, keep up the great work. Because of your podcast, I'm now a huge fan of Dennis Sweat. I would, and I bet others would love it if you brought him back on the podcast. Thank you. Please keep doing what you're doing. Doing a good job. That's nice. Gotta like that kind of stuff.
Yeah. I have to let Dennis know about this.
Well, I already let him know, actually.
Oh, cool.
But, yeah, we gotta have him back on, because, he can talk.
Yeah.
That's like the key thing about podcasts, is talking.
Exactly.
Okay, and then we got another one from, name is Alvin Yakatori.
Awesome.
You guys are amazing. Keep bringing back Cisco. He's great. We should get him a fan club.
Cisco's fan club? Oh, Cisco's going to love to hear this.
Also, bring back Dennis Sweat. Just make a podcast of the four of you guys discussing comics and coming up with comic ideas.
Cisco ain't a comics fan.
No, he's like the kind of guy who reads like the movie tie-in comics, and that's about it. But you can bring Cisco on to discuss, like, the Tim Burton
Cisco's going to get his own fan club, yeah.
He can really discuss that one.
Yeah.
But, yeah, thanks for all the emails. That's always good. I like getting emails. Emails are fun. You can read them, especially when it's been, like, 16 hours of day, or however long it's been. But, yeah. So make sure to go out and check out Drunk Batman Episode 7 on Newgrounds, YouTube, Vimeo, or just go to oldmanorange.com. There you can find everything from podcasts to videos and so on. So, yeah. Till then, I'm Spencer Scott Holmes.
I'm Ryan Dunigan.
I'm Joseph Souza.
And we will see you some other time.
Later.